Hey, dude, what's your name again? John? This is John, this is Steve, and I'm Mort.
Just call me John.
Yeah. That's right, And we're from Maneja Beto, according to all of the press stuff here. We changed our name for today, and you're watching Austin Underground.
And how do you feel about being one of the few Latino bands to be here at Pampan?
I think it's great. I feel really good about it.
I think it feels more natural for us, you know, than other festivals we played. This is generally the type of music we listen to, the type of music that we seek out, regardless of whether it's in English, Spanish, Portuguese, or whatever. So this feels more like home to us, for real.
Yeah, I definitely feel like we fit in more here than a lot of other shows that we play. I mean, we play a lot of shows, and we play a lot of shows with other Latino bands, and that's great and stuff like that. But I feel like our music is a little bit more different than that. Like it's way different than that. You know, we sing it's all the lyrics are in Spanish, so they're a Latin band, which is fine because we do have those influences, and that's great. And you know, it does come across. You know, we have cumbias and stuff like that. But as far as like what we all like and what we're all into and stuff like that, like I feel completely at home here. Like I feel like this is like the stuff that we should do. Like, I mean, you know, just all this kind of indie rock, you know, or whatever you want to call it, alternative rock, alternative music. Like that's definitely, I feel like that's definitely what we are. So it feels good. Thank you.
It's like a warm blanket.
Okay, y'all are a whole big mix of genres. How would you describe your music?
We started calling it indie en Espanol, just for lack of a better term. We always get placed in that Latin alternative box, and it doesn't really fit us as much as it does others. So we kind of wanted to like coin some phrase that maybe means, you know, whatever we play a little bit better. But you know, I mean, as much as you mix genres, it's hard. People always want to default to those sort of like basic categories, and the reality is that there's so much music, and I think that what this festival is typical of is that there aren't genres that you can define for a lot of artists, and that we fit in that middle space. And you know, I'm just glad there's a festival that sort of recognizes all of that, and, you know, that we can be a part of it.
How do y'all go about deciding what kind of music y'all are going to include in your songs?
There's a dartboard involved.
Yeah, there's a dartboard involved, and or shots of. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that we just roll the dice. No, we don't really decide. It just kind of happens, you know. Like whatever someone's. It's just like anything else, you know. Like whatever you're feeling at the time, or whatever kind of comes out. It's all, you know, very, you know, kind of. Some of it's very riff oriented. And some of it is pretty well thought out. Whoa.
We used to consult the Ouija board quite a bit, but it stopped working.
Yeah, whatever the spirits want.
And can y'all tell me about your latest album, Escante Calling? How was that? How did y'all go about making that?
Well, so it came out last October. You know, it was received well by some. The process for us is just like every other album. You know, we've got folks that write either in groups or singularly, and we just kind of bring everything to the table, and we'll work them out as a group and figure out how we're either gonna change parts, you know, keep parts, change arrangements, you know, lose arrangements or whatever. And 9 times out of 10, they end up sounding a whole lot different than what we brought to the table. But that's kind of part of the deal, is that we feel like where the magic happens, is where when we get in our rehearsal space and we work songs out, and we can like really spend some time with them, because you know, everybody ends up bringing really great stuff to the table, and it's a pretty huge collaborative process. So yeah,
and a lot of times the magic happens like actually when we're in the studio or in the bedroom, in the kitchen. And we're all really excited about the new stuff we were recording. I mean, it's definitely different, and yeah, we kind of tried to do a little stripped down version of what we usually do. We usually have like a lot of electronics and a lot of percussion and a lot of this stuff, but this time we just kind of were just going in.
Less clothes.
Yeah, less clothes. Just underwear. Yeah, and that was kind of the idea of this one. Just let's do it raw, and it sounds it's sounding really good.
So what kind of music in Spanish do y'all listen to?
I'm still a gigantic fan of Café de Cuba.
Oh, I love them. Yeah.
You know, one of the things that we did get into, like, as a group when we started writing music or whatever, is like cats like Jose, you know, that like I feel like there's elements to that music that are really timeless. So I like to listen to a lot of that old shit, not because I grew up on it, but also because, you know, I mean, it, you know, music happens in cycles, and those things, you know, come back around, and I always try to listen to that stuff as much as possible. You know, a bunch of the traditional stuff, a bunch of the old stuff. You know, I mean, it's pretty much whatever speaks to us musically.
So what's ahead for you guys?
Finish the album at the beginning of the year, try to get it out in the spring. We've got a New Year's show that we're playing with Grupo Fantasma at Beauty Bar. We've got South by Southwest, you know, some other stuff in the spring. I mean, we're just going to keep doing that, you know, into the foreseeable future. But definitely a new album next year.